When I was in high school, I was a pretty good student. I surrounded myself with great students, so they raised the bar for me. There was one kid who played ball with me. I talked about this on the radio show. There's one kid who played ball with me. He was a year behind me, and he was a genius. He was an absolute genius without trying, just born with a mind that was photographic. But there was a problem. He hung out with the wrong people. He lived on my block, and he hung out with the wrong people on my block. And as a result, whenever I saw him, as talented as he was in the classroom, he was always high, always, constantly. And he didn't go to class a lot, by the way. So when he did turn up at class, he was high when you did see him. And I took a calculus class when I was in the 11th grade, and I was not that good at calculus. I actually transitioned out. I don't say dropped out. I transitioned out of calculus. Transitioned out of calculus and took business law, which then spurred an interest in me in the law. But he was in that calculus class. It was surprising to me the first time I saw him come into the class. He was in the 10th grade, I was in the 11th. This was an AP calculus class. We were to get college credit for this. And he was the only 10th grader in the class. And he showed up. I stayed in there for about a half a year, and he showed up maybe twice during that whole year, once per quarter. And every time he showed up, he was high. He would come in, he would sit in the front seat in the corner, and he would whip out a little pad and a pencil, and he would take some notes, but not many. In the meantime, I was feverishly trying to figure this stuff out. I just didn't get it. And my two friends who were in there with me, one was a salutatorian, one was the valedictorian of our class in high school. The valedictorian now is a patent attorney, a partner in New York. The salutatorian is an attorney with IBM for the last 25, 30 years. He also was the editor of the Law Review at my alma mater, St. John's. These were bright guys. I dropped out of the class. They continued. They took the AP test, and the valedictorian, he got a 5. It was scaled from 1 to 5. A 5 is the best you could possibly do. He got a 5. The salutatorian got a 4. They could get college credit. I asked what happened to my friend in the front row who played ball with me and came in high all the time. I said, oh, obviously, if I dropped out, I graduated number 5 in my class. I thought I was okay. I thought I was pretty smart, and I couldn't make it through this. I said, well, obviously, he's not going to stay in the class, so he must have dropped out. And they told me, no, he took the test. I said, he took the AP test? They said, yeah, he took the AP test. He said, you got to be kidding me. What did he get, a 1? No, he got a 4. This guy came to class 4 times that year, got a 4, which is the equivalent of what the salutatorian got, and he's been an IBM attorney for the last 30 years running the Russian organization, the Russian company for IBM. And this guy got a 4. So, fast forward 20, 25 years, and I asked one of the guys on my team in high school, whatever happened to Hook? That's what we called him, Hook. Whatever happened to Hook? And on Facebook, he mailed me back and he said, Hook's been in and out. I said, oh. In and out of jail, in and out of prison. What would he have become if he surrounded himself with just maybe one person who was helpful, who was a great mentor, who had integrity, who could show him the way? What would he have become? He wouldn't have perhaps been in prison for his whole adult life. And so I just say to you, this whole thing about relationships is deep. It's important. And Hook could have been the guy who brought an end to AIDS. He could have been the guy who maybe went to the moon. But instead, he's in and out.